We were talking about the expiring tax cuts in 2025 and whether that might be an opportunity to do something about the problem. And Senator Danforth was making the observation that it would probably be an opportunity to just extend the tax cuts and declare that they would pay for themselves and merrily go along. So, Tori, I think you had a follow-up.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I'm sure this question is going to come up at the debate, and both candidates are going to promise to make the tax cuts permanent. One candidate is going to pay for it by raising taxes on the wealthy and increasing the corporate income tax rate. Another candidate's going to pay for it by imposing a 10% tariff on every product imported into the United States. What do we think about those?
On the State of the Union speech, where Democrats seem to be absolutely thrilled that Biden could maintain an extraordinarily high decibel level for about an hour and a quarter, he spent an hour of his time unveiling one federal spending program after another. It was just wonderful. If you vote for me, his message, it was an election year gambit. His message was, if you vote for me, here's what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to give you money. And here's where the money is going to come. I'm going to tax somebody other than you. So it's free. All of this is going to be free. It is going to be absolutely great. A bonanza for you, because we're going to tax the rich or we're going to tax corporations. And it's just what Russell Long, former Senator Russell Long, used to say about tax reform. What most people think about tax reform is, don't tax you, don't tax me, tax the fellow behind that tree. So, I mean, please. And then on the tariff front, imagine Republicans supporting a 10% across the board tariff. Imagine that. Republicans who historically have said government should have a light hand in the economy, suddenly saying, very heavy hand, very heavy, 10% across the board tariffs will pay for this and that. Major disruption for our economy, and especially major disruption for those portions of the economy depending on trade, and that on exports, and that includes particularly in rural parts of our country, which are having enough problems as it is. So no, I mean, to try to pay all this by tax increases, that when you plan to give away the money that you're raising taxes for, or to plan to deal with the problem by a major tariff program, none of those are really serious. It's all campaign stuff.
I completely agree with Senator Danforth on what he just said. And that's because there's nothing difficult in extending benefits to people who may need it. I mean, it's not like there's a lot of need out there in the country, but if you have to pay for it with tax revenue, it provokes a different question, which is, how are we doing before you propose something new? And not very good. We're increasing the amount of money that we're borrowing to pay for everything, particularly the mandatory program. So I don't think it's hard to pull it back once you put it out there, but I think Senator Danforth's 100% right. Democrats make a mistake of saying we need more domestic spending, and Republicans they want more for defense. And then they, as I said, it's startling to hear and dangerous actually. You kind of count on the Republicans to pull Democrats back from the brink and doing something stupid like imposing tariffs. So anyway, I remain hopeful. I cried during on June 6th, celebrating the 80th anniversary of D-Day. It's hard not to be inspired by watching that ceremony and considering what happened on that day. They saved the world, and I'm still optimistic that America can do the same.